Hi guys, Pirate NIka here, and this is One Piece Manga 1089 review. The first page of the manga reflected the news that Garb was missing in action on the pirate island, and also emphasized that he is missing in action and it doesn't say he's dead. The page also reflected that relatives of Luffy and Garb are emphasizing there is no need to worry about him. However, with a bit of hesitation, it pertains they are still somewhat worried about him. Next on page 3, there are images or scenes of earthquakes and tsunamis from east, west, south, and north blues. It was also emphasized that this was no ordinary earthquakes or tsunamis. The page also emphasized no earthquake in recorded history matched the one felt on that day, which also caused untold destruction across the world. On the fourth page of the manga, the writer indicated that since no one really determined the epicenter of the earthquakes, its significance went unnoticed. The page also showed the ground zero of the kingdom Lulusia that was erased from the map 6 days prior by Imu-sama. If you can remember, the huge cannon from the sky fired to the kingdom with the purpose of killing Sabo and erasing the kingdom of Lulusia simultaneously. This page also showed the aftermath image of the destruction that it caused. We can see on this page the huge hole, so huge that the narrator indicated it doesn't look like the hole will collapse on itself at the center of the ocean, and also appeared to be a huge circular waterfall. It also noted that the earthquakes caused the global sea level to rise by approximately 1 meter, which was reflected on the 5th page of the manga. And because of the rise of the global sea level, many of the world's shores were beneath the waves, and in fact, some islands were also submerged entirely. The next scene went back to Egghead Island, and the page depicted that a massive force surrounded the island, and emphasizing that it has so much firepower that what we know of the concept of Buster Call is just really a small scale relative to the current number of warships present surrounding the island. Those who love the numbers, here is the data from this page. 100 ships of various sizes and classes, 20 great warships, and 30,000 marines. The scene also showed that the mecha monsters were also attacking the ships. However, of course, Admiral Kizaru's laser was shooting one of the sea monsters. On the next page, it showed Sentomaru stopping his uncle Kizaru from destroying the weaponized sea beast over the phone line. The page reflected that the Operation Siege was being spearheaded by 9 Navy Vice Admirals as well as Admiral Kizaru himself. Next on page 8, it gave us information about the basis of Pacifista's lasers, which is from Admiral Kizaru, from Vegapunk's research over Kizaru's power. The page also showed Sentomaru threatened Kizaru that if he again make one more move on destroying the weaponized sea monsters, that day, Sentomaru with the Mark III Pacifistas, open quote, will be ready, end quote. Sentomaru was also confronting Kizaru why the admiral was there to kill him, in spite of participating Vegapunk's research. However, Kizaru emphasized that no one can protect Vegapunk from his own choice to research about the Void Century. Of note, on this page, Kizaru also emphasized, in spite of his role or order of killing Vegapunk, that he is just a cog in the machine, or is very insignificant compared to the overall scheme of the world government. The conversation continued on page 9, where Kizaru indicated that this fight is not exactly in the government's best interest, or he is simply implying that everything is a loss for them. Sentomaru also assumed that Ralph Lucci of CP0 and their team also failed to assassinate Vegapunk, and that he is also thanking the Straw Hats. An interesting part of this page was that one of the members of the Gorosei or Five Elders, J. Garcia Saturn specifically, which is the warrior god of defense science, was also inside a certain warship, and he emphasized to everyone that no one should know that he is within the vicinity. In the scene, Jay was reading the current newspaper headline, which was titled, "The Straw Hat Pirates Storm Egghead to Take Vegapunk Hostage," which was noted to be the title by one of the Morgans. Jay also asked the Marines the reality of the situation, but one of the Vice Admirals told him that they yet to receive any word from CP0 on whether their mission was a success. The Vice Admiral drew conclusion that based from Sentomaru's resistance, that Vegapunk with his 7 satellites are up in the Labo Stratum, along with the 4 Seraphim assigned to protect them, and together with the Straw Hat Pirates as well as with the CP0s, Rob Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy. The Marine was also under the assumption that the other number of the other Cyberfall agents have been captured in the Fabrio Stratum by Sentomaru and his battalion of Mark III pacifistas. On the next page, Oda gave us a clue or hint that the Frontier Dome was labeled 100, that this serves some sort of a tracker, indicating that nobody can get in or out of the Labo Stratum. And we can clearly see in the drawing supporting this narrative that there is a barrier in the Labo Stratum. Jay then asked the Marine Vice Admiral, "Where are the researchers and the workers of the Egghead gone?" Upon mentioning of the Vice Admiral that they have evacuated the island, but they were able to track their whereabouts, Jay immediately ordered to sink down the ships, fearing that they might know something. Also, one more thing that the Vice Admiral reported to Jay is that Jewelry Boney was reported to be in the island as well. Jay was very aware that she was Kuma's daughter, and also mentioned that she doesn't have any use of her, but given that she is just a little girl, Jay noted to leave her be. On the next page, it was a bit of a surprise for the Marines, where they pick up a long-range call from the Egghead calling the Marijoy. However, Kizaru was noted to have a black transporter Snail, and he was told that he can listen in the conversation with the call. The call was directed to the room of authority in Marijoy. It was noted that York, one of the 7 satellites of Vegapunk, was the one who's calling. York immediately questioned the Gorosei, or the 5 elders, that why are they killing her as well? In the next scene, York informed Gorosei the reason of her call, and it is because of her betrayal as one of the Stellas. However, Saint Marcus Mars told York that she herself is still Vegapunk, just as Vegapunk himself. But York insisted that she has no interest with the Void Century. In the next page, York was also questioning about the fleet surrounding the whole island, asking the Gorosei are they waging a war with her. Saint Shepherd Jupiter immediately responded that they changed their mind, and immediately confirming or asking York that is she capable of replicating the mother's flame alone. However, this page noted that York or Vegapunk was glad that they sent it as a special request the Gorosei were acting on. Note that York immediately asked a request from whom? Then York immediately switched the topic as well about the power station that she needed to make is just within her premises. It is just that York asked the Gorosei to promise her that they won't touch her or her lovely laboratory, and she also requested to become a celestial dragon. The long-haired and long-bearded Saint Marcus Mars immediately confirmed York's request, and the celestial dragon request can also be arranged as well. Immediately, York told Marcus that they had a deal. However, York also requested for one more thing that Gorosei has to do first before everything else. And surprise, surprise, on the next page or scene, York was screaming, "Save me!" as Straw Hat Luffy was there, and York also told Gorosei that Straw Hat is going to kill her. She was also begging to the Gorosei to crush the Straw Hats. All of the Gorosei were shocked, including Admiral Kizaru, who was reading in the other line of York's present situation. The last page of the manga revealed a scene, York being held down and chained by the whole Straw Hat crew. The Straw Hats were with the CP0s, Vegapunk himself, as well as with Jewelry Pony, with Luffy mentioning that they can just use York as a human shield to get away, and Boney noting that does it mean they were under siege? Dr. Vegapunk himself said, so that's how it is. So the last page of the manga revealed the grand conspiracy the Straw Hats were up to, and the series is on break next week. So that's it for manga episode 1089. Please leave your thoughts or comments in the section about what do you think about this episode. Enjoy the rest of the day. Peace.